I use this? Okay. Tohas Tikalam Kolam to Kupja. I'd like to thank you all for coming to the third session for the lecture series for Native American Heritage. So throughout the month, we've heard different stories of the remarkable tribal leaders who fought or who put their best interests aside to fight for something that was more important to help future generations to come. Their battles with the government to preserve our tribal sovereignty and indigeneity. It is important to remember that it is our people, the Shkelu, who have remained strong, courageous, resilient, persistent throughout the years who fight for our language, culture, traditions, customs, because they believe in who they are and where they come from. Nobody is going to fight for us, our sovereignty, our existence, more so than our own people. That is why that is why we must stick together and lift each other up, and not only in times of need. I admire the next two ladies who are about to present. They have represented their families, peers, school, and tribe with grace, beauty, and humbleness. It is their own sacrifices, struggles, and beliefs in their traditional ways that have molded them into the young leaders they are today. Our youth are paving their own way in the world. Let this be a reminder to support our youth in their future endeavors because one day they will lead our tribe to a better future. So our first presenter is going to be Penelope Antoine. So I'm going to read her bio for you. Her mom sent me this, and this is the one we sent out to everybody. So Penelope is a Colville tribal descendant and is currently a senior at Lake Roosevelt High School. She is a national honor. She is in National Honor Society and is one of the few at the top of her class. Penelope loves to bead and plans to attend college at Western Washington University or the University of Washington. Penelope's sense of humor keeps her enjoying the parts of life that become difficult, but she has been working hard to heal through multiple hardships she has endured. She enjoys playing soccer, golf, and has lettered in both. Penelope has experience in writing the Inchumchin dialect spoken by the Colville Confederated Tribes, with its respective orthography, utilizing the phonetic or international phonetic alphabet. She also has conducted her own class with the Lake Roosevelt Elementary students using the pedagogical approaches she has witnessed and learned about since her time in the classroom. Penelope has a great or Penelope has been a great mentor and role model to not only the younger students but her peers as well, challenging them to change the academic, traditional, and cultural norms within the school. Penelope not only takes pride in being an educated young woman, but being an indigenous leader into her community. So I'll give it up for Penelope.
Tilhash Dissequenchutes Penelope Antoine, and Tim Squenchutes Gretchen Nelson Whitelaw, Im Ashtam Squenchutes Donovan Antoine, Ishnak Skank, Yukanak Angwa, Schnikes, Ishnawakton Nalakosh. Hello, my name is Penelope Antoine. My mom's name is Gretchen Nelson Whitelaw. My dad is Donovan Antoine, and my tribes include Okanagan and Lakes, Arrow Lakes, and I'm from Grand Coulee. I first started learning Salish my freshman year of high school. And I personally didn't grow up surrounded by tradition or culture, being raised in a household with a white mom and my dad who wasn't very culturally involved, or a big native family due to the fact that most of my family does live in Canada. So initially, I was never really confident in my roots, which not being enrolled had also contributed to. So when I first heard about Salish, I was like, okay, whatever, I'll just join because like all my friends are doing it, and I can get my world language credits out of the way. But then I was in, and my first introduction to Inhop Chin was with Mickey Verkub, and someone who kickstarted my passion for language and understanding of why it was so important to learn. I felt a purpose in the classroom once I had learned that our language was dying and speakers were needed to keep it from going extinct. One of my first and favorite memories in my 4 years of learning still resides in the first few weeks of the classroom in C212. Once we like had finally held the tournament on how quickly you can match your introduction from English to Salish, and I had won against every student, first and second years included. And although the first, it would not be the last of my many favorite memories of learning the language. As I went on, my interests only continued to grow and the cultural aspects filled themselves in. And I started reaching out more to family and friends to get more involved. One of my favorite people, Michelle Barnaby, taught me how to bead alongside Jamie Clark. My Aunt Bonnie encouraged me to always keep learning. And although unsuccessfully, about every language teacher I've ever had teaching me how to basket weave. My mom also, when I was younger, always trying to keep me involved by dancing and supporting my continued education. And Camilla Pino, my longest standing sales teacher, teaching me many things, always keeping me motivated to keep learning and always teaching me different stories and various things I could go on and on about. I soon became some of the few at the top of my class, which only grew my confidence academically and culturally. And although at the time some may have seen it as caring too much, I didn't see it. I've always pushed my classmates to keep learning to their full potential. And this goes to younger students too, because I've always seen learning Salish as a privilege that many don't get due to the loss of language and culture during the assimilation of our people, including boarding schools. May that be the lack of resources or the lack of language altogether, and because of that erasure, it is so important for us in the younger generations to keep learning and revitalizing our language while we have the opportunity to do so. So our language won't die and our history along with it, which is the reason I've put thought into getting certified to teach it myself so I can continue teaching others what I've once been so passionate about. Even if my end goal isn't to become a teacher, bringing culture into art history, which is something I'm pursuing after college, after high school, um, hopefully at the University of Washington, is something I've thought a lot about as a new perspective into the art world with the intention to bring Native American artists into the spotlight and show off a world of art pieces underappreciated by people everywhere. Talicha.